fuck? Oh, there we go. Hello, and welcome to another scene in Kansas, where we have changelings doing changelings things.
Changelings doing change things?
Changeling things, yeah, there we go. At the Freehold, where we're totally not going to steal stuff from the Baron. No, never. Like, just circle it again.
Watch the Pookie ease. That may be saying that you are going to try again.
Bring it on. Might be part pixie, part puka. Never know. But yeah.
So wait, a pixie puka would be a pooski?
I guess. That sounds really weird.
It sounds vaguely like Polish.
I was gonna say something else, but okay. I don't think CC has Tiger's red cap's numbers, so yeah.
Baron at some point, so we can just kind of assume he just happens to show up at the same time. That's cool.
Okay. Yeah. And then CC will message Eddie and just be like, yo, let's go to the Freehold.
I didn't hear a word of what any of you had said there.
Oh. It was basically just, CC was just gonna message Eddie and just be like, yo, let's come to the Freehold, it'll be fun.
I think it's about time, yeah, let's go to the Freehold. Please, hold my hand. I don't want to get lost.
Okay, and I guess, everyone will show up at the Freehold.
Yay.
Oh, well, that's most unfortunate. That doesn't fit.
Rolls up. Got his shiny new sash on.
Freehold. Yes. In the wonderful the Freehold is the Kansas City Renaissance Festival. It is just outside of Bonner Springs, out by the Verizon music. Excuse me. It is a wonderful place that I've extended the hours for because this is the changeling venue, and like heck, it's only going to be open from late summer to early fall. Out on that sweet glamour. There's a gravel parking lot for which that you can park in, and a big area, if like a medieval fence, like the old stakes with the big thick trees with the points at the top, and a gatehouse to give you all of those wonderful medieval vibes where we shun education and dogmatically follow religion. There's a gatehouse at the gatehouse there. And once you have garnered yourself entry, there is a slew of shopping buildings going on. It's 2 o'clock, so there's a good dusk. So there's a good 7 hours left in the or 6 hours left in the festival. Festival grounds being open, and so this village that had a forest grown up around it, because this is Kansas, and if you're looking for woodlands, it's the last thing you will find. And there are definitely a lot of people milling about. It's not a very large place, but there's probably at least a good maybe 200 people milling around this place. So it's busy, and it definitely stays busy when it's open. At the far back of the fairgrounds, busyness and craziness, there is the jousting field. Once you get past the jousting field, while there's bits of the sparkle and glimmer and have different little touches on the place, expanse of the Freehold is past the jousting field. There's a line of bushes along the back that shows the end of the fairgrounds and the jousting field, the Grey World. But in the dreaming is the Baron's castle, which, seeing it, it definitely stands proudly and magnificently in the dreaming. However, it looks a bit, how should we put it, undermanaged. The place is very elegant in its own right. It's this nice stone castle that has kind of a rustic feel as the vines are growing up it. Maintained and kept, so it's not like if you lobbed a ballista at this castle would come tumbling down like Humpty Dumpty, but definitely has a much less prestigious feel to it. Like you're at the beginnings of the great expanse to nothingness, as opposed to a regal barony that has probably got in the top 5, if not the top 3, when it comes to glamour potential in barony of sunflowers. And that is my description. Feel free to mingle in.
Kieran rides up to the fairground on his tiny little scooter, because that's all he can afford on his meager salary. Dressed pretty casually, both in his mortal seeming and his face seeming. The only real any kind of fancy doodad on his face seeming is the red sash that Traori has given him. And a pretty nice little necklace as well. But he's heading to the barony to go and actually meet the Baron, since he should probably do that.
And I suppose Cece and Eddie will roll up. Cece in her truck that looks like it's barely, like, staying together. Needs some duct tape. It needs a knocker. Yep. And she'll just pull up.
I have no idea what kind of vehicle I could have at this point with resources 2. I should probably have asked this.
Resources 2, you can... Resource 1 is either you have a motorcycle or you're taking public transportation. Resources 2 is where you get to the point where you could have, like, either an or an economy car, you know, that kind of low budget, like a Ford Focus or something like that.
A better motorcycle.
Yeah. That works too.
Yeah.
You could even have a really nice motorcycle at Resources 2.
Well, I don't want a super fancy one, just one that's nice and sturdy.
Works for me.
So, we have to get through a guard to get to the Baron's office, right? Or into the field.
Yeah, there's 2 guards at the castle.
Cece's gonna walk up to him. Be like, so hey guys, can we go in?
Any business this afternoon?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
And that would be?
Well, we gotta talk to the Baron.
Isn't everybody?
Very well. Excuse me, sir, just a moment. Yes, pardon me, Cece. I would like to make a formal presentation of myself to the Baron under recognition of the Accords. I'm out of character. I have no idea if there actually are Accords. I'm just trying to sound professional here. Like my character would know more than I do.
Yeah.
So I'm here to present myself as appropriate and offer my services in service of the greater kingdom of Concordia.
Very well.
As a gesture to the red sash, that's
yeah, the red sash that will get you through the door, because which means you actually outrank castle guards.
Well,
Boss.
The only problem is it blends far too well with the red wife beater I'm currently wearing.
A maroon.
Oh no, that's the intent.
Okay. They'll go ahead and let you all in. You know, if you're coming with the squire, obviously you have business that's going to be taken care of. One of them will open up the door for you. Large, thick ass doors, that entryway door, so you don't have to constantly open those, open and shut. And one of them will go to have the Baron fetched. In the meantime, you are guided to his study, which he more or less uses as an office for semi-formal events, where he does not need to use his hall or anything like that. Anyway, you get set down there and are set up with some two coffee, one with tea in it, and assortment of cookies. Are given some time to socialize before the Baron arrives.
Ah, tea and cookies. Please have some before I eat them all.
Same.
Wait, who are you?
Red cap punch up over the cookies.
I'm Kieran. Who are you?
I should probably describe myself. Oops. Eddie's about 5'11". His human seeming is a tall, not necessarily a gentleman, but a tall, decently wiry fellow with a red wife beater that is a little bit too tight for the intent of showing off his physique, mostly for the purposes of showing off the absolute abundance of tattoos that are upon his person. His hair is cut short, and his beard is thick and dark. Beyond that, it's blue jeans and some very heavy-looking boots. And also, hey, is that a red sash? It blends in far too well with his red shirt. As for his oh yes, beneath the tattoos, there's just the slightest gray pallor to his skin, and his eyes look far too bloodshot, like he's either eternally high or he gets absolutely zero sleep. That is only significantly more compounded as the face seaming is seen, with the redness around his eyes going all the way to the sides of his face, and his whole skin being a gray, almost stony complexion, the tattoos being more like cracks upon his skin, almost like a sun-beaten desert, only gray.
Nice.
Same clothes. Because who needs fanciness when you're in House Scathach?
Yeah, you're not really into those politics and all that stuff.
Hell to the no. But yes, yes, I'm Eddie Brocken, Squire of House Scathach. Just thought that a little bit of the pleasantries must be necessary, and that's as far as I'm willing to go politically. Apologies for the background noise. Someone's doing yard work in my apartment complex.
Squire Kieran Wingard, Squire of House Ilun.
Ah, House Ilunid. They're pretty popular here.
Seems that way. I just joined fairly recently.
Are you associated with that, oh dear, what's his name? That Merlin fellow?
Sir Treor? Yes. He's the one who squired me.
I see. Interesting to know. Dankeschön.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Mm,
I like he has a,
I would, of course, I would be delighted to make a Corby someday, but seems it's not meant to be.
he'll take it, and I can't really say anything about him because he's kind of helped me out a lot. I don't really know what issues you two have with him, but
You're not really sure of what?
what issues you two have with him.
I don't really know him particularly, but what makes me sad is that a fellow red cap is thrown in their lot with non-red caps.
I mean,
I've had my fill of other red cap things. I think I'm good. Thank you.
You know how they see us. Unfortunately, we're nothing but garbage disposals and brutes.
okay, so Baron's office, right, guys? Can we just go with yeah? Can we just just do?
Sorry for trying to have a bit more
At
dignity,
which point,
Cece.
while you guys were turned kind of discussing between each other, on his father's desk, eating the cookies, he's like, well, we're kind of concerned about them eating them all. I don't know.
The cookies!
I would say
Are there any
that
left?
there's like about half of them left.
Suddenly there is only a quarter left.
Oh man, it's a tiny Baron. Look at that. Did you get shrunk or something, dude?
Yes, exactly. I went into this one broom closet, and suddenly I came out shorter and younger. See, I now have the youthful wonders have visited me.
You also got a little bit more ugly.
I suppose that's in the eye of the beholder, who needs
It's also very-
glasses.
I don't need glasses. My eyesight's very good. Thank you very much.
You'll also know that clearly not the Baron because he has a red sash.
I know, she's just giving him shit.
And,
No, I know. Just for the other players.
and who might you be, young man?
Me? Usually I'd consider myself no one important. I would be, however, for your indulgement, Squire Tobias, Baron Erich, Squire to the Duke of Sunflowers.
Ah,
Nice to meet you.
likewise, schön Sie kennenzulernen. Sorry, nice to meet you. Is your father available?
Yeah, he just needs to pretty himself up, and eye rolls.
Does he need to wake up again? He seems to take naps a lot.
Forgive me, but I'm suddenly
Yeah,
imagining a puka with an enormous powder puff.
Lots of hair rollers.
Yeah, usually about this time is his afternoon nap, followed by afternoon tea time, followed by brunch, followed by another nap. And just as I kind of wanted to set this up to also give you guys an out of character note, so you know how things work. Even though you guys are all squires under a knight of a barony, and he's the squire under a knight of the, makes him like about a half step above you guys, even though you guys have the same rank.
Makes sense.
How you determine who's the more ranking squire, if you've got a bunch of squires in a room, is either to their prestige, they've been a squire. So, just as a little out of character note, so you guys are aware of how things work when you got a bunch of people of the same level in the same room. But it shouldn't be too long for him, usually. Maybe I can get you some more cookies? He'll smile.
Your generosity is most appreciated, and I would mostly be delighted in more cookies. What about the rest of you?
The circlet.
Karen is just kind of
Are the
Also,
cookies
just-
called circlets, or am I missing something?
Well, it's really easy to be generous with cookies when they're on someone else's dime. As far as circlets go, I don't hand those out. Sadly, unless you want one of those like little nice like things that we give out to the guests here, the little plastic call them anyway. Those little things. I've got plenty of those. I'm pretty sure we get them shipped in from China, so we have probably more than we need.
You know what? I'll take one.
It'll give you a tiara.
Hell
Very
yeah.
gaudy.
In,
Lots of
sol-
rhinestones.
in solidarity, I too will take one.
Yeah,
No,
put
tiara.
one with a snicker on.
Both of the clasped hands means we do everything together.
Right. Well, TMI.
No, that was out of character. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, I thought that was in character. I was about to have.
Going to openly admit that we have the oath of the clasped hands because that would just be inviting all kinds of people to try to manipulate us. If I know World of Darkness, everyone's
Fair.
a
Right. So all the tiaras, and seeing that he thinks that Tiger's red cap might be left out, he'll give him one too.
Karen will look at it and then very gingerly place it upon his own head. Tiara.
mind control kicks in.
Oh no! Then it turns out this squire was fucking Shadow Court all along.
No, I mean all three of us suddenly enthralled by the circlets, and now we have to do the thriller dance or something.
Oh jeez.
So, taken care of, Tobias will disappear into the back door, and out the other end will come his father.
I'll drop to a knee because that's appropriate.
As you do, he'll tap you on the shoulder, basically letting you know that you can. Jesus Christ. He'll be like, do that too often. And then he'll give a smile as if to say, am I lying or am I not? You decide.
Cece's just looking at the two people who were dealing, and she's just like, guys, what are you doing?
And then he'll do likewise for Tiger as well.
Would have nailed it first, he would have hesitated,
Okay.
and then see that the other squire's nailing it and be like, oh shit, and then like nailed down.
Yeah, because you're new to this. I hear that I have belts. That's very exciting. The fact that new bills, exciting in the fact new friends, and exciting in the fact that, well, not be as exciting as some people think, but we'll see. So, by whom are you squired by?
Sir Treoria and
Hearing that from the first red cap tiger, he will a smile comes across his face, like, oh, that's interesting. Well, since I haven't had the chance to see him yet, could you please make him aware that we'll be, after all, staying in this barony? Delightfully inaccurate rumors that he might be getting moved around, and it seems that good fortune has settled upon this barony and he'll be staying with us. And that will make you... Congratulations.
thank you, Baron. I'll make sure to pass along the message to him.
Great. And then he'll turn to the other squire.
Out of character, I have no idea who squired me, because
Yeah.
I didn't realize I should have known this.
We'll do the wonderful thing that I like to do as an ST, and we'll say, but I was sent here, so I'm currently have no knight.
I was squired under Knight Blah under the
Probably House Scat.
Scathach, from New Orleans. I wouldn't know what the name of that particular barony is. But
it's in the book somewhere.
It's some fucking where. But I've been told that I don't speak enough French for that area and have been seconded to your service here. And if I am aware correctly, there is a lot of German immigrants, or at least descendants thereof, here in Kansas. So perhaps my services would be much more useful here.
Perhaps. And perhaps I might have the perfect person for you to hang around with. Buddies, so to speak. Friends, acquaintances, family members, maybe even. And he will...
All of these are positives to me. Thank you, Baron.
And he'll tap the door and ask for someone to go get the not, as he describes it, the not Froofy Knight.
Not trophy
yes, the one that is staying here and not being shipped out. Yes. Correct. All right, go get him. And he'll turn back. So that must have been a long journey. How was your trip?
Oh, mostly uneventful. Lots of going into bars and getting into nice rough and tumble things to acquire glamour, and I haven't killed anybody because I haven't needed to. That's really it. I mean, occasionally I've been entertaining people. My job or career as a mortal was a sideshow circus performer. I mean, you know, performance eating, juggling knives, things of that nature.
I'm sure that push comes to shove, if you can't find anything else around here, we definitely have a place for you to do such things in our very eccentric environment. And he would gesture back towards the fairgrounds.
Yes, Cece has been already assisting me with that. We happen to be old friends.
Oh, really? That's very interesting. You'll his eyes will trail over to Cece. I guess I should thank you for finding holes for our missing pieces of our jigsaw puzzle, as it were. Unless, you know, it turns out to be a disaster, in which case I'll blame you for putting the wrong pieces into our jigsaw puzzle.
Well, I apologize in advance if any trouble comes from me. It's only my duty as a squire of House Scathach to help protect our borders and to protect from threats both chimerical and prodigal.
She'll, she was just looking around the room, and she'll slowly turn to look over at the Baron. She's just like, I won't lie, I may or may not have been paying attention to whatever you just said, but I really don't know the connotation for what was going on. I'm just kind of here. But, okay, she'll give a thumbs up, and she'll say, if I get blamed for something, that's fine. I've already been blamed for several things that I haven't really done lately, so it's all good.
Then it's a wonderful family already.
Indeed.
Well,
if you need me to punch anybody for you, Baron, I'd be more than happy to.
I don't know if I need anyone to punch anyone yet, but I definitely would think that your services are at band, considering recent interactions between ourselves and prodigals. It's been exciting.
Permission to acquire such information, Baron? Perhaps maybe in private? I don't wish to cause too much of a political stir. I'm sure you understand.
Sure, sure. He will, let's see here. He'll kind of pull you off to the side of the room, and here, how about this? How do I do this? We'll just say he blows a willpower, because that's just easiest for me. And basically, no Pookies, which is kind of strange. Basically gives a rundown of the events that have been special. Let's see here, so I can just do summaries. Like, for instance, the encounter between Triori and let's see here, and no, not Stephen. I don't know why I am blanking on Charles the sorcerer.
Caleb.
Yeah, Caleb. The drink, him slamming back absinthe after he was told it was a non-alcoholic beverage, having a bad trip, PTSD, and caused him to rage out in Triori's study, and all that, before he was calmed down. The personal incident that he has personal note of running into the vampires, as it were, and one of them almost frenzying on him. The not a major incident, but more like a minor incident, but it contributes. The ruffling of feathers of the neighboring barony when members of this barony went out to try and seek out prodigals in Kansas City. And am I missing anything? Oh, and a most recent one that hit my desk that I'm going to have to deal with later. In fact, at this point, he motions back over Tiger's character over into this huddle of belts and crowns.
Kieran will walk over.
That reminds me before I get too far into this discussion, I will also need at night's convenience his audience to discuss something prodigals, something Gage Park, something beer.
Somebody's been breaking them laws.
And kind of weigh them off, having gotten the out that was needed to the belted folk.
Well,
He'll walk back.
then, good Baron, I would ask your permission, or maybe perhaps I should ask my knight's permission, whoever you assign me to. I've heard that there is a current ban on associating with the prodigals.
Without my permission, correct.
I would like to ask for your permission to associate maybe not necessarily diplomatically, because I'm not particularly friendly with other prodigals, but if they are on our borders and causing a disturbance, if I might be able to treat with them as necessary. I don't intend to kill anyone. I don't want that. It's too dangerous. But if people are causing problems on our lands and they're not under our jurisdiction, we need somebody who can kind of handle that.
I believe that would be a good way to go about things. But luckily for us, I don't think that. Well, first he'll back up. He'll say, "I think that is a good way to handle this, but it would only extend to my barony, as that's all I have authority over."
Yes, of course.
But good news is that you shouldn't be too busy with that, as most of the supernatural stuff seems to be happening much more to the west of us, as it were.
Understood. So outside of our borders, no association with the prodigals.
He thinks about that briefly. I would say it this way, if there are members of this barony in which there might be a conflict, to protect members of our barony from harm, or
Well, if a member of our barony is outside of our jurisdiction, they are themselves members of this jurisdiction, so it would be within my purview to protect them as necessary.
yes.
So in the event that perhaps a vampire comes trying to chew on one of us, I might have permission to, tail them off, or if necessary, punch them in the fangs.
Right.
Or we'll just see whose fangs are better, although I don't think they would taste particularly good.
Yeah. I mean, that does sound reasonable. I would say that that is probably the best way to handle it. Now, if there are extenuating circumstances, say that you are attacked or anything, and they aren't members of our barony, or there's other things, I'm willing to give leeway on a case-to-case basis. But that seems like the best way to handle it for now.
Thank you very much, Baron. Thank you for the permission. I hesitate to ask more of you, but the only things I would need at this particular juncture are a roster of the members of this barony, so I know who to protect and who to let stand by, and perhaps a map of borders.
He'll give you a map. There's a map that shows the borders of all the baronies in northeast Kansas on the forums under the I think welcome to the fair part of the setting information.
Yeah, like the history of Kansas or whatever.
And then he will quickly sign off on a writ for you to basically say, hey, I have permission from the Baron to do X, Y, and Z, and only X, Y, and Z, unless later stated by the Baron, blah, blah, blah. Basically, you can do these things unless the Baron gives you a get-out-of-jail-free card on other things.
Cool.
He will give a roster of the barony that the members of the barony that he's aware of. Probably a list of a few like unnamed NPCs, Joe Blow number 642 and stuff like that, plus the PCs that live in the barony. There are exceptions that out of character I'll make you aware of, so you know out of character, so that way you know they're not on the list. It's easier to list the people that aren't on the list than the people that are on the list. Julia's character, her satyr, I can't remember her character's name. She doesn't live in the barony. She lives in Lawrence, so because that's where she works, and so she's technically not barony. But she often comes in and hangs out with the rest of the members of the barony, so that's one of those case-by-case bases, but she's technically not part of the barony. And I don't think any of the other changelings have stated otherwise about living outside the barony, so I think that's the only real exception. Give you, since you said you don't have a knight, he will give you assignment to Horace Steiner, who's a knight of your house, and is a troll.
Yay! A new friend. Who is technically my boss.
Yeah.
Sean, by the way, is there anything kind of small, looks expensive, and things of that nature? I'm sorry. I can't help it. I really can't.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think of what might be in his study. Small and looks expensive. He on the coffee table probably has some silverware to go with the cooking and tea set, like a teaspoon for stirring and stuff like that. Some fountain pens that are about on different like little study bench desks. It's the only thing I can think of in this room that's small and pocketable. It's really shiny and possibly pricey.
Okay. She'll go ahead and go for a fountain pen then.
Yeah, that's to my utter disappointment. I still haven't got an overlay for the Baron yet. I mean, not the Baron, the Prince yet.
Okay, just 4 successes. Not too
Yes,
crazy.
Okay. If anyone else wants to make that contestant roll, go ahead. The Baron really just doesn't give a shit. That's
Cece is one of my best friends. I trust her implicitly.
She also still might try to steal the Baron Circlet again just for shits and giggles later.
oh dear.
Oh man.
That you might have to give a shit about.
Karen don't notice shit.
All right, so congratulations. You now have a sparkling new fountain pen.
I'll sign off all sorts of decrees with this.
Dear everyone, the bathrooms are available. Signed, me. Yes.
Why are you talking to the prodigal? I have to see. I do what I want.
I know what I'm about, son.
Actually, she'll just kind of wander back over to the desk, because she's just been kind of walking around the room the whole time, because she's just like, this is kind of boring. They're talking about boring stuff. I'm a little curious as to what's in here. So she'll wander back over, and she'll just say, yo, could I talk to the prodigals? Like, just in case, you know? I don't know. I'm not gonna start shit with them.
Preferably not, though. If you have any dealings, then you can forward them through the good squire.
Yeah, but okay, no. Like, what if I'm just walking around in a park and one of the prodigals walks up? Like, I don't want to leave the park. I don't want to have to tell them, like, yo, I can't be around you. You're nasty. You know, go away. So, like, what if that happens? Because I don't want to get in trouble.
Why can't you just call them nasty?
Because I'm nice.
Oh, Cece, so naive.
And she's also a lady. Unfortunately, but you don't have to call them nasty, but disengaging from the conversation has proven to probably be the best.
Okay, what if I pinky promise not to get in a fight with them, and if they start getting in a fight, I'll just fly away? Or if they start trying to fight me, then I will just fly away.
The only exception to that, of course, would be involving me, because as you know, you and I are super best friends.
Well, then I'll pick you up, and I'll just take you with me, and we can fly away. It's not hard.
I want to see that.
I mean, okay, because she's got strength 3. That's like 250. Like, I hope this dude's not over 250. Like, if it is, then she can't, but she could probably try it.
I'm about 210, 220.
Okay,
It'd be very tough, but she could theoretically do it.
slowly.
Yes.
I think the situation that we have currently, where we have one administering problems, is for now the best. Though, should things be laid out better for interaction, I still haven't gotten calls back on anyone but one specific group. You somehow found my number. Kind of weird. Anywho, until such time we can lay some better groundwork, the edict remains as is, and I don't see any modify.
Oh, okay. What if I get bored, though?
The dreaming is very large.
What if I don't want to die, though?
Why are you messing with prodigals?
Because some of them can be nice. And she's just
I
got
hear
this large...
grump.
My bad.
I hear mini grumps like playing checkers.
But I'm not a grump, though, and checkers sounds boring.
Perhaps you could assist with your friend over there in his strategic endeavors. I hear risk, stratego, chess, build a better future.
Wait. She'll look to Eddie and just like, what are you doing now?
Wait, what am I doing? Why am I being forced to play Stratego?
You're a squire of the realm. You should be being trained in all things, both military, strategic, and martial.
Very well, but I guess I must have to meet my knight and ask him to train me in the other martial aspects beyond punching.
Punching can be very effective, though sometimes bladed weapons are necessary.
Permission to expose my weapon.
Sounds really weird. Phrasing.
I am not good at this at the political social stuff.
Just gonna whip something out in front of the Baron and everyone.
Would you like to see my weapon?
Sure.
Not better.
At which point he will lift his hands, and they are covered in black, riding biker gloves. A light gesture of them, and out of every single fingertip come these long, well, not particularly long, but I would say maybe 2 or 3 inch blades, claw-like blades. They're not iron. They were probably made by a knocker at some point. Yay for the Razor Claw's treasure.
Yeah.
So good.
So I am not necessarily completely unarmed, and if I do have to kill something, I am certainly capable of it, but I'd rather not.
That's a fair sentiment.
And the claws retract. Wink. But yes. That I should probably learn how to use firearms, because they are useful. I should probably learn how to drive it too.
Well, be lucky that I didn't add Monopoly to the strategic warehouse. I hear that it destroys friendships.
I love Monopoly.
You already put risk on there. That's enough to destroy families.
Guys, okay, so, like, I can go to my home, and I can pick up my Monopoly board, my Monopoly game, and we can come back here and play Monopoly with the Baron and everybody. It'll be great.
It'll be great until he gimmicks as the bank, and suddenly you wonder why he has all that money.
I mean, it'll be fine, because CC will do the same thing, just kind of reach over, and the next larceny, though.
Why do I keep landing on the property tax?
I'm sorry, fair is foul, foul is fair no longer exists, so I can't do that to you. In second ed, I could have.
That's it, I'm just going to eat the board.
You owe me like $30. You know how expensive those things are?
Hey, be glad it's not one of those limited edition boards.
That is true.
Wait, which figurine was yours? Were you the little hat or the dog?
I'm always the top hat.
Give me that. Ah, crunch. Ah, pewter, soft metal.
We would fight.
I can imagine this happening in the study. That's kind of... anyway. So, is there any other things you need to take care of? I have, let's see here. I guess this qualifies as tea time, so I guess I should move on to brunch.
I thought it was
Lunch.
the nap after tea time.
No, it's lunch, then nap. And then after that, more nap. And then after that, second lunch, dinner,
Then a siesta.
nap. Yes.
Interesting. Very well. Thank you very much, Baron. I'm very much looking forward to meeting Sestina.
Super generic last name is super generic.
Super generic German last name.
Yes.
Not like it's Smith or Jones or anything, guys.
His name means like stones.
Well,
Really,
since
his name is Horace Rocks.
nice, but since it looks like the meeting is coming to a close, and this is just something that Cece has to do now. She doesn't know why she has to do it, but it's just something she's got to do now. She's just gonna kind of fly over to the bear, and she's not even gonna try and be sneaky about it. She's just gonna try to lift the circlet up.
How? I don't have this. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what he has on the sheet because I don't have that. I guess he would just kind of give a playful swat at her since she's not making like any effort to like really super hard try.
Then at that point, you just poke his ear.
And he would playfully snap his teeth at her.
And she'd chuckle and just kind of fly away. Say, I'll get it one day, one of these days.
Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll get it because I've moved up in the world. I
mean, I wouldn't really care at that point, because either way, I'm still taking it. And then I will take over the world. And everyone shall have pretty clowns.
What would happen if you ever became Baroness?
Wait, what do you mean by that? Trying to say I can't lead?
No, I didn't say that. I'm just wondering what would happen. Would you say that you can pick the pockets of everybody within the barony?
I'm not that sort of... And she'll kind of get this hurt look on her face and kind of place a hand over her heart. He's like, oh, is it because I'm a pixie, huh?
No, it's because you're a good little thief.
Well, if she was a good little thief, would she need to make a rule saying you couldn't do anything about her stealing from her? Would you even know? Whoa.
Exactly.
Well, you know, taxes are a form of theft.
Damn,
At least
he's gonna say that
leave
right in front of the
instead.
Baron and everything.
With that, the Baron will walk back behind the back study door and head off to eat and take a nap and whatever. I wish this cat would take a nap and just sit down and stay put.
Kitty. Cece will, she'll look over at Kieran, and she'll just kind of say, hi, I think we met like once, and I didn't do a lot of talking because we were at What's-His-Face's place and it was very boring. I am Cece.
I am Kieran. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. How you doing?
I'm okay, I guess. I understand you have problems with the person I'm knighted under.
I mean, just a little bit. He does like to go on and on and on about all his little, you know, head and King Arthur, but that's because he gets boring and I wander off.
Okay.
But you seem cool.
I mean, whatever issues you two have are between you two. until he says otherwise, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to mention. I mean, until he says otherwise and decides to bring you guys into it, perhaps as his goons. Not that I wish to impugn his honor in being capable of doing things himself, but people used to like to pick on Cece when she was younger. I didn't allow that.
I'm not about that life, so
What do you mean you didn't allow it? I just punched him in the face.
Red Cap friends, and he will extend a hand to the other Red Cap.
Karen will give him a pretty firm handshake. He's got the vice grip spec for strength, so.
And Cece's just gonna slap her hand down on top of the handshake.
I am much less strong, and yet I am very sturdy.
Okay, we should probably get out of the Baron's study now before people think something's going on.
Are the people going to think we're all married now?
I mean, I'm just saying, the Baron's not in here anymore. We haven't left the study. We could be ransacking the place. And she'll look around. She'll just kind of sigh. There's not a lot of good stuff in here anyway. There's no point.
Fine, let's leave this place. And perhaps enjoy the fair a little bit. I could go for the sound of a good calliope.
How about you and Kieran go do that? I'm going to go find a bathroom, yeah.
You do
Have you
that,
ever had funnel
Cece.
cake?
What was that?
Have you ever had funnel cake?
Yeah,
Yes.
I work at a circus.
Yes, I would love some funnel cake. I'm a little bit full, and I'm not necessarily saying I'm full, but I am a little bit overdone with turkey legs. I wonder if we can find some ribs nearby.
Fantastic.
And as they're talking, Cece's just gonna kind of fly off somewhere inside the Freehold.
Let us go enjoy funnel cake and ribs.
Wonderful.
It is near Kansas City. There are probably some good ribs to be had, if not here somewhere.
I bet even their fairs have really good ribs.
By the way, Cece's just gonna wander around the Freehold, just like peeking into rooms and all sorts of stuff until she's caught and told to get out.
Meanwhile, the Red Caps go and have a lovely time eating together and showing each other their teeth. No homo.
Why would that even require? I'm not gonna ask.
I mean, it's all good if they say no homo.
No matter
Our
what we
balls
do,
are touching, no homo.
Oh my god. Okay. If there's nothing else, I think we can end the scene here.
Sounds good. By the way, I'm not at all homophobic. It's just it was an appropriate joke to make.
Yeah. This has been another scene in Kansas where things happen, people did stuff. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, if we get any later, for watching. Yes.
If we get any later.